An imagined tour of paradise through the eyes of a believer come now. Close your eyes and open your heart. Let your soul rise above the bounds of this world as we take a journey, not of this earth, but of a promise far greater, a land unseen by mortal eyes. Jannah, the eternal paradise that Allah has promised to His righteous servants. 1. There comes a moment unlike any other, when the soul, free from the weight of the world and the burden of the body, finally draws near to its true home. After a lifetime of worship, struggle, repentance, longing, and unseen patience, the journey leads to that final horizon where heaven begins. The believer stands before something indescribably vast and awe-inspiring, the gates of paradise. There is no fear now, no regret, no sorrow, only an overwhelming sense of peace that seeps into every corner of the soul, like sunlight flowing through open skies. What the eyes behold is not just a gate, but the beginning of eternal joy, the entrance to a world that was promised by the Most Merciful, a place spoken of in every prayer, imagined in every sujud, and hoped for in every tear shed for Allah's pleasure. The gates of Jannah are unlike anything ever seen. They rise in majesty higher than the clouds, stretching into a luminous sky of pure light, with golden archways encrusted with pearls the size of stars. Each gate bears a different name, corresponding to the paths of righteousness. Bab as-Salat for those constant in prayer, Bab Ariyan for the fasting, Bab as-Sadaqah for the generous, Bab al-Jihad for the selfless warriors, and others. Each gate like a doorway into a realm, crafted just for those who walk that way. The scent in the air is unlike any earthly fragrance. It enters not just the nose but the heart, calming every nerve, with a divine aroma that whispers, "You are safe now." The believer looks up, wide-eyed and trembling, not from fear, but from a holy awe, a trembling born from joy too vast for the body to contain. And then they hear it, gentle voices, the voices of angels, not speaking with mouths, but echoing in the soul directly. "Peace be upon you. You have done well. Enter eternally with honor." The massive doors begin to part, not with the sound of creaking wood or groaning iron, but with a soft thunder that sounds like a symphony of wind chimes, flowing water, and heavenly music. Light bursts forth from within, not blinding, but inviting, warm, and infinite. As the gates vanish behind them, the believer knows this is forever. There is no death here, no departure, no end. The journey that began in the womb and passed through the world into the grave, through resurrection and reckoning, has now ended at the gates of eternity. The reward is not just in the gardens, the rivers, the palaces, but in this moment itself, the moment of arrival, the knowledge that the struggle was not wasted, that every sacrifice was seen, that no tear was forgotten, that the Lord they trusted in, even when they could not see Him, has not only delivered on His promise, but has given beyond what was imagined. The believer looks around and realizes this gate, this entry point, is only the beginning. The real treasures lie ahead. But even now, even here, they feel as if nothing more could be needed. And then, from beyond the golden light comes a call, not loud, but resonant, not urgent, but magnetic. A voice unlike any heard before, one that makes the entire being tremble in delight. It is not the voice of an angel. It is the voice of the One, the Lord of majesty and honor. He says, "My servant, you have arrived. I am pleased with you. Are you pleased with me?" And the soul, already overflowing, responds without thought, without hesitation, "My Lord, how can I not be pleased when you have given me everything?" And with that, the believer steps forward into the true beginning, through the gate that separates the temporary from the eternal, and into a realm where every breath is praise, every moment is peace, and every second is lived in the light of divine pleasure. As the believer walks forward from the gates, each step feels like a floating embrace. The ground beneath their feet is alive with softness, richer than any carpet, more fragrant than roses, shimmering beneath the rays of a light that knows no source but the divine. The air is not merely breathable, it nourishes the soul. It sings to the heart. It holds no pollution of sorrow, no dust of regret, only purity. Then, before them, unfolds a sight that steals every remaining word from the tongue, the gardens of paradise. Not gardens like earth's gardens, no matter how beautiful the believer once knew them to be. These gardens are infinite, tapestries of creation, designed not by human hand, but by the One who made beauty itself. Colors exist here that never existed in the world. Shades of emerald, sapphire, rose, and amber blend into each other like a painting still alive, still breathing. The grass is soft as silk and glows with a subtle light that does not blind but kisses the skin gently. It is always spring, always the perfect temperature. Not hot, not cold, only comfort. There is no sun, no moon, and yet everything is illuminated as though lit from the inside out. And as the believer walks deeper, the trees begin to rise. These trees are unlike anything ever seen by the eyes of man. Their trunks are made of gold, shimmering, textured, strong, yet they bend gently in the breeze. Their branches stretch wide, offering not just shade but serenity. Each leaf is like a piece of art, some transparent, others glowing, some humming the remembrance of Allah as the wind passes through them. And the fruits, they hang heavy, as though inviting the hand to reach up. Yet every branch lowers itself at the desire of the believer. No labor is needed, no climbing, no waiting. The fruits are of every kind, and even more. Pomegranates bigger than hearts, dates that melt on the tongue, grapes that burst with light, apples that sing with sweetness, each bite offering a new delight. And yet, never does the soul feel sick, nor the stomach full. There is no indigestion here, no discomfort. Only pleasure, eternal, balanced, gentle. As the believer continues walking, they come upon a sound so beautiful it stills their movement. A soft murmur, like the chime of a hidden melody. It is the sound of water, but not water as we know it. This water is alive. It dances as it flows, sparkling like threads of diamond, curling around the roots of trees, cascading. down into crystal basins. These are the rivers of Jana, flowing without channel, floating across the ground like silk ribbons. The first is water, pure and refreshing, cold enough to soothe, warm enough to comfort, every drop holding light. A single sip quenches a thirst the believer didn't know still lived within them. But it is not just water. Another river flows nearby, its stream the color of cream, white and glowing, yet clear. This is the river of milk, the kind that never spoils, never curdles. One taste of it is enough to make the heart weep for joy. And then comes the river of wine, not earthly wine that intoxicates, but a drink that clears the mind, sharpens the senses, and fills the soul with holy joy. It is a wine that brings no regret, only clarity, only laughter. Its color is ruby. Its scent is better than musk. It is served in goblets of gold and silver, handed by youthful attendants who smile like dawn. And then, flowing gently beside it is the river of honey, thick, golden, luminous, flowing slowly like liquid amber, its sweetness beyond measure. Each river has a sound, a voice, a character. They do not simply flow, they praise their Creator as they move. And their praise is heard by the trees, echoed by the birds, embraced by the air. The believer walks alongside them, dipping fingers in the current, feeling not just water, but worship. These rivers do not erode. They do not flood. They do not drown. They soothe, they cleanse, they inspire. Their presence alone is a reminder that this is not earth, this is eternity. And in the midst of these gardens and rivers are fountains, lakes, and springs. From some, water flows upward in gentle arcs, catching the light in rainbows that never fade. Others trickle softly over gemstones, forming pools that invite the feet to rest. These are places to sit, to reflect, to praise. The believer sees benches made of pearl, cushions of silk, canopies woven from threads of gold and light. No mosquitoes here, no ants, no distractions. Just the hum of joy and the silence of contentment. Time seems irrelevant. Hours pass like seconds, and seconds feel like forever. The heart has no worry. There is no appointment, no hurry. Everything here waits for the will of the one who earned it. As the believer reclines beneath a tree, they see birds flying above. Some large, others tiny, all glowing. Their feathers are more beautiful than anything known to the world. Some carry garlands of light in their beaks. Others drop jewels like rain upon the leaves below. Their songs are unlike any melody heard on earth, not of string or flute, but of souls singing directly to souls. The birds are messengers of peace, of joy, of remembrance. One lands near the believer and sings softly, its voice like a lullaby woven with verses of mercy. It sings not just for pleasure, but as a companion in this eternal rest. And nearby, deer with eyes like starlight, leap gently among the fields. Lions lie down with lambs. There is no fear among creation. All live in peace. Even the animals of paradise know their place, and they love their residents with a loyalty unmatched. As the believer continues walking, they find paths of gold and silver beneath their feet. Some paths glow blue, others green, some clear as crystal. They follow where the rivers lead, to gardens deeper, richer, more hidden. Each turn brings a new scene, each corner a new marvel. A grove where the trees sing praises in harmony. A meadow where the grass glows with moonlight. A valley filled with the scent of roses and sandalwood, where butterflies of radiant glass fly freely. The believer walks on, eyes wide, heart expanding. There is no boredom here. Every moment brings a new surprise, a new joy. The gardens of Jannah are not a fixed landscape. They grow, they shift, they respond. If the believer wishes to be near a waterfall, it comes closer. If they wish for a quiet grove to remember their Lord, the trees move to form one. If they wish for the scent of musk, it flows from the earth. This is not magic, it is mercy. It is divine hospitality. And what is more, each believer's paradise is uniquely shaped for them. One may find their garden filled with olive trees, like the ones they knew in childhood. Another may find roses, fields of lavender, mountains like the ones they once dreamed of, a quiet lake where their reflection is forever youthful, a breeze that smells like a mother's hug, a sky that looks like the one they used to stare at while making duet in the darkness of the night. Paradise remembers. It remembers the tears shed in longing, the nights spent in prayer, the hands raised in solitude. Every yearning of the soul is answered here, not with just what was asked, but with more, better, perfected. There is laughter, too, gentle, sincere, sacred. The believer hears voices nearby, friends, family, righteous strangers once unknown, now eternal companions. They call out, walking toward the believer along paths lit with joy. They embrace, not with arms alone, but with hearts. They talk, they remember the life that was. Do you remember when we struggled? Do you remember how you doubted sometimes, but still hoped? Do you remember how the world mocked us, but we held on? And they smile, not out of pride, but out of relief. The test is over. The reward has begun. Their reunion is the blossoming of promises fulfilled. Every tree in paradise is so vast that a rider could travel 100 years beneath its shade. And yet, there is no heat, no darkness. The sun of earth is gone. Here, the light comes from the throne of Allah, spreading across the heavens and down into every garden, river, and soul. The light is alive. It speaks peace. The rivers reflect it, the trees absorb it, the hearts glow with it. It is the light of the one who created all things with wisdom and love. And the believer feels it everywhere, not just around them, but within. The soul itself is now light. There is no more doubt, no more pain, only certainty, only love, only joy. And as the believer sits beside one of the rivers, perhaps dipping their toes into the stream of wine, or sipping water from a jeweled cup, an angel appears, not with command, but with invitation, not to rush, but to continue. Your palaces await, the angel says, their voice like a harp strung with pearls. There is more, always more. This is just the beginning. The angel's voice lingers in the air like music, and with a warm, wordless gesture, they invite the believer to rise and follow. As the believer walks away from them, banks of the rivers, past the fragrant trees and golden meadows, the scenery begins to change, not because it grows more beautiful, for all of paradise is beautiful, but because it begins to feel more personal, more intimate. The path leads to a horizon that glimmers with light, not the natural light of the sun, but the soft, eternal glow of divine generosity. And as the believer approaches, that horizon transforms into a city, not of this world, but of the next, a city of palaces, towers, courtyards, and gardens, each more stunning than the last. These are not the cold fortresses of kings or the lonely castles of legends. No, these are homes crafted by the will of Allah, built with grace, honor, and love. Each palace reflects not only beauty, but the soul of its inhabitant, molded by the deeds they performed in. Their earthly life, shaped by their sincerity, their struggle, their worship, and their love for their Creator. The first sight of the palaces brings a hush over the heart. They do not simply rise above the horizon, they floated, as if resting upon clouds of light. Their towers are carved of pure gold, their walls of silver, and their foundations of radiant pearl. But it is not the wealth of the materials that makes them astonishing. It is the feeling they give, the way they radiate peace, strength, welcome. Each palace is alive in a way, responding to the one who now draws near. The believer can sense which one belongs to them. It calls to their heart like a childhood home calls to the memory. The gates open as if smiling, and a soft breeze escapes from. Within, scented with the most familiar of fragrances, perhaps the perfume they once wore during prayer, or the scent of their mother's embrace, or the air of a holy night spent in worship. Everything in Jannah remembers you. There are no keys, no locks. There is no fear of theft, no barriers. This is not a place of worry. This is the realm of ultimate security. Inside, the palace opens wide, its entrance hall grander than any mosque ever visited in the world. Its ceilings so high they seem to rise into the sky itself, adorned with stars made of diamonds and inscriptions of heavenly poetry and light. The floor is smooth, made of crystal so clear that beneath it flows water from the rivers of paradise. Gentle, glowing streams that run under the feet like ribbons of worship. Each step through this palace feels like a prayer answered. The walls shimmer with hues that shift, softly with thought, blues and silvers and rose gold, or perhaps even colors never seen on earth. The chandeliers above are not made of glass, but of light, pure, suspended, pulsing gently with remembrance of Allah. The light does not burn, it soothes. It does not blind, it embraces. The believer walks slowly, marveling, not in haste, but in awe. Every hallway leads to more wonder. There are rooms to recline in, rooms whose ceilings are painted with the stories of your life, not in pictures, but in light and fragrance and sound. One chamber hums with the sounds of Quran recited in your voice from the nights when you whispered it alone in the dark, unseen by the world, but heard by the King of Kings. Another room glows with the memories of charity given in secret. Each coin, each morsel of food, each hidden smile now shining as a gem embedded in the walls. There are spaces for rest and silence, for conversation and laughter. Some rooms are open like meadows, some enclosed like warm embraces. No two are the same, and yet the palace is not empty. It is not cold. It is filled with the presence of those who belong with you, your righteous companions, family members who believed, friends who prayed beside you, those who remembered you in due way. They are there, or soon will be. And even if some loved ones were not of the righteous, Allah, in His mercy, may raise them to join you, or you to them, as a reward for your prayers, your patience, your pleading. For in Jannah, separation is not a punishment for them. Faithful, it is healed by the mercy of the most merciful. There are balconies overlooking gardens, your gardens. The trees outside bear your name, as though creation itself now honors you. Fruit hangs low, and vines of light twist across the stone like decorations sent from heaven. The courtyards are filled with fountains, and the water that flows there sings your praises, not from pride, but from love. The birds that fly here are not frightened, but playful. The air is always just right, and the breeze that comes through the windows does not disturb. Papers or cool skin, it caresses the soul. From afar, you see other palaces, some grand, some humble, but all perfect for their owners. You see the dwelling of a martyr, higher than most, shining with brilliant light. You see the home of a scholar, surrounded by books that float, singing wisdom. You see the garden of a mother who raised her children with love and prayer. It blooms with flowers that never fade. And you realize this city is made not of stone or brick, but of sincerity, of struggle, of quiet faith. Within your palace are garments, robes of green silk and brocade, more comfortable than anything ever worn. They shimmer with heavenly threads and change with your desire. There are rings, crowns, bracelets, all gifts, not symbols of wealth, but of honor. Every item given to you here was earned, not by greed, but by worship, by mercy, by trust in Allah. The clothing never fades, never wears, and always feels new. It fits your form perfectly, not your earthly body, but your eternal one. And this body, oh, this blessed body, is forever young, the perfect age, free from weakness, from disease, from pain. A body made not of flesh and blood, but of light, and soul made to enjoy without end. Within the palace are mirrors, not of vanity, but of beauty. When you look into them, you do not see flaws. You see light. You see the effect of your patience. You see yourself as Allah intended you to be, clean, whole, honored. And the mirror smiles back. You are not repulsed, ashamed, or sad. You are finally at peace with yourself. There is no insecurity, no doubt. There is no fear of time stealing your youth. There is no worry of envy or comparison. In Jannah, no one is more beautiful than they are meant to be, and all beauty pleases the eye without jealousy. You admire your companions. You are admired in return. Everyone is as they wish to be. The palace has music, but not of instruments, not a distraction. The walls hum with praises. The fountains whisper remembrance. The doors open to songs of birds, and the breeze of blessings. There is a rhythm here, a pulse, not of noise, but of grace. And when you rest not in silence, but in serenity. You do not sleep, there is no need, but rest is still part of joy, and it is unlike anything the world ever offered. When you lie down, the bed conforms to your spirit, not just your form. You are held, supported, blessed. And when you rise light as air, ready for more. More joy, more exploration, more love. Your neighbors are the righteous. Perhaps Abu Bakr lives nearby. Perhaps Fatima passes by. Perhaps your friend from the mosque lives 2 palaces away. Perhaps your favorite teacher or a kind stranger whose name you never knew in the world now welcomes you warmly, saying, I made due way for you. I'm so happy we are here together. And there is no awkwardness, no pride. Only love, only brotherhood, only sisterhood, all gathered under the shade of Allah's acceptance. From your palace, you hear a call, not a call to prayer, for there is no obligation now, but a call to gathering, a trumpet of joy, a whisper that spreads across paradise like wind through wheat. You know what it means? It means there is a feast, a celebration, a moment where the believers will gather, not out of need, but out of love. You dress not with effort, but with thought. You walk, or perhaps fly, or glide. You choose. And the palace watches you leave, glowing with your joy, ready to welcome you back whenever you return. It waits, always perfect, always open, always yours. And as you leave it behind for a while, heading toward the greater assembly of the faithful, your heart carries no burden. You do not worry about time, about decay, about anything being lost or broken. Everything in paradise is eternal. And as the wind kisses your face and the light surrounds you, you smile, and the palace you left behind smiles with you, radiant and waiting, forever yours, forever blessed. The fragrance of paradise deepens as the believer glides gently through their eternal home, guided by serenity and pulled forward by joy. The heart beats not with urgency, but with delight, and around every corner new marvels await. And then, through the soft curve of flowering trees and radiant gardens, the believer approaches a place prepared not for survival, but for satisfaction, celebration, and eternal joy, a place of divine feasting. In this world beyond worlds, food is no longer a necessity for the body, but a delight for the soul. It is not eaten to live, but experienced to celebrate living. It is not prepared with labor, but appears with intention. The believer has only to desire, and before them, dishes of perfect flavor, aroma, and beauty emerge, placed not by servants of this world, but by heavenly attendants created solely to bring joy, smiling as they serve in graceful silence. Their movements are effortless, their presence calming. The believer is not embarrassed to be served, for this is not the slavery of status. It is the generosity of the divine. Every meal in paradise is a divine invitation, a reminder that joy is not only permitted here, it is commanded. The tables of Janus stretch as far as the eye can see, yet there is no crowd, no discomfort. Everyone is exactly where they need to be. Gold and silver dishes reflect the light of heaven, and the food glows, not with unnatural brightness, but with the soft sheen of perfection. Fruits of every kind are piled high, dates of glistening brown, pomegranates opened like jewels, melons ripe with heavenly nectar, grapes hanging in clusters, too beautiful to eat and yet impossible to resist. There are fruits never known to earth, colors and shapes and tastes that make the soul tremble with gratitude. When the believer reaches for a fruit, the branch lowers itself gently, humbling itself before the one whom Allah honored. There is no resistance, no struggle. The fruit plucks itself into the hand. The skin peels without touch. The inside is soft, glowing, dripping with sweetness. A single bite sends waves of joy through the body. Taste beyond taste, flavor that speaks. It is not just the tongue that tastes, but the heart, the soul, the memory. Each bite is like eating love itself, mercy turned into sweetness. And every bite brings a new flavor. The fruit never repeats. The joy never dulls. There is no end to its delights, and there is no worry of fullness, of gluttony, of regret. The believer eats as they wish, but never feels burdened, never feels heavy. There is no hunger, but the desire to enjoy. One can stop at any time and feel complete, or continue and feel even more blessed. It is impossible to overeat. The body here is not weighed down. There is no need to wait. There is no sickness, no indigestion, no pain. Every morsel nourishes not only the body of light, but the soul that once fasted in the heat, sacrificed for the sake of Allah, gave up food in the world for the promise of this very reward. And then come the meals, the feasts of paradise, laid out not on dining tables, but on heavenly banquets beneath the trees, beside rivers, near fountains that sing. Plates appear by thought, bowls filled with heavenly broth, meats roasted to perfection, loaves of bread that break without crumb, spreads of honey that glisten like the morning sky. There is no fire here, no ovens, no smoke, yet everything is perfectly cooked. The meats are tender, birds of paradise that fly freely and return to the hand of the believer when desired. These birds, unlike earthly creatures, offer themselves joyfully, then return unharmed, alive again. There is no harm here, no death, not even in the consumption of food. All is symbolic, all is spiritual, yet perfectly fulfilling. The believer takes a bite, and it is better than anything ever tasted in the world. They chew slowly, not because it is needed, but because they wish to savor it. The meat falls apart on the tongue. The taste is rich, layered, deep, spiced not with herbs, but with divine artistry. And again, no aftertaste of regret, no thirst, no heaviness. Only pleasure, only lightness, only fulfillment. Drinks are served in goblets made of gold, silver, and crystal clear as glass. Some are encrusted with jewels, not as decoration, but as honor. The wine of paradise is unlike the wine of the world. It does not cloud the mind. It does not make one forget. It sharpens. It purifies. It refreshes. It brings a joy that flows from the heart into the limbs, making the soul feel younger, lighter, more alive. One sip is enough to feel as though you are flying. Another sip makes the laughter of your companion sparkle even brighter. And then there are juices, sweet as paradise, smooth as silk. The drink of the cedar, the lotus, the rivers of pomegranate and rose. Each drop is cool to the perfect temperature. Each scent a balm for the spirit. And when the cup is placed down, it never spills, never dirties. There are no stains, no messes, no ants or flies. Cleanliness is part of the air. Order is natural. Everything serves happiness here. Desserts? Yes, but not as the world knows them. There are pastries that melt into light, honeyed sweets that hum with harmony, fruits layered with cream of starlight, bites of confection that cause the heart to burst with remembrance. When you eat, you remember Allah with each swallow. Alhamdulillah flows not from lips, but from the very essence of the soul. Gratitude is no longer an act. It is a state of being, and it is not forced. It is effortless. It is joy. You are not alone. You dine with those you love. Family is there. Parents, children, spouses, siblings, friends. The ones who prayed beside you. The ones who fasted with you. The ones who reminded you of Allah in the hardest moments of life. You sit together now, not in worry or grief, but in ease. Laughter echoes gently through the trees. Smiles shine like moonlight. Conversations are not rushed. No one checks a clock. No one grows tired. Every word is a seed of joy, and every shared moment blossoms into more light. You are together forever. There is no goodbye. No one has to leave early. No one needs to go back to work or worry about the bill. There are no bills in paradise. No cost, only reward. And beyond all this is the invitation of Allah to the greatest feast in all of paradise. A banquet hosted by the Lord Himself. A table laid out in a realm of joy, where the prophets sit, the martyrs recline, the righteous gather. Where Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, and Muhammad sit among the honored guests, and every believer finds a seat not based on their status in the world, but their closeness to Allah in their heart. There are no curtains dividing people. There are no guards. There is no VIP section. Everyone here is honored. Everyone is royalty. The angelic servers bring food that has never been described. Food that nourishes the soul so deeply it causes tears to well, not from sadness, but from such intense gratitude that the body cannot contain it. The tears here are made of light. They fall onto golden plates, and even those drops are collected by angels, stored in vessels of remembrance, treasured as symbols of the joy Allah gave His beloved servants. And at that table you realize, in the world, food came with hardship. It had to be earned, bought, cooked. It carried concerns, health, cost, availability. It was a burden even when a joy. But here, in this realm of mercy, food is not survival. It is celebration. It is a form of love. It is a reminder that the one who created the stomach also created the pleasure of feeding it. and then made that pleasure eternal for those who believed. Here, there is no hunger that aches. There is only fulfillment that calls. And each time you eat, it is as if eating for the first time. The joy never fades. The taste never dulls. The beauty never disappears. And when you finish, there is no need to clean, no dishes to wash, no floor to sweep. The area is as pristine as it began. There is no mess. There is no waste. Nothing rots. Nothing stinks. This is not a physical world. It is a world of spirit and reward. Even the crumbs of paradise shine like pearls. Even the air after eating is perfumed. And as you lean back, full of joy, you do not grow sleepy. You grow energized. You want to walk, to talk, to praise. You want to explore more. You are ready for the next wonder. This is only one meal. There are infinite more. And yet, even now, even after this first feast, the believer knows this is enough. If there were nothing else in Jannah, even this would have been more than enough. But in paradise, there is always more. Always another layer of joy. Always another surprise of mercy. And all of it, every bite, every flavor, every shared smile, is only a whisper compared to what is still to come. As the believer rises from the table of joy, heart full and soul shining, a new beauty begins to unfold. One more layer of divine generosity, the clothing and adornment of paradise. No longer burdened by the limitations of the world, no longer confined by fabric that wears, fades, wrinkles, or constricts the garments of Jannah are not mere cloth. They are light, they are honor, they are poetry worn upon the soul. The very air seems to hum in reverence as the believer is led into a chamber filled with heavenly robes and silks, glimmering with soft, celestial radiance. There are no sewing machines here, no tailors, no measurements, because in paradise, everything is already perfect. Each garment is made to fit not just the form, but the very essence of the wearer. There is no such thing as too tight or too loose, too long, or too short. What you wear in Jannah is not placed upon you. It becomes part of you. It flows with your movement. It breathes with your joy. The believer gazes upon garments spun from the threads of heaven, woven from the finest silk, green in hue, yet unlike any green seen on earth. The color does not simply reflect light, it radiates it. The silk itself seems to whisper remembrance with every ripple, a softness that touches the skin and soothes the soul. Simultaneously, there are robes lined with gold, not garish or heavy, but glowing with sacred dignity. Some are adorned with pearls, others with diamonds, and some with stones that never existed in the world, gems of paradise, shimmering with colors never known. Yet nothing clashes, nothing is excessive. Even the most radiant outfit feels balanced, calm, sacred. You are not dressed to impress. You are dressed to reflect the pleasure of Allah. And when you desire a new robe, it appears, folded in perfection upon beds of fragrance. You do not need to shop. You do not need to try things on. You simply wish, and Allah's mercy responds. If you desire something majestic, long flowing robes trailing behind with golden threads, you receive it. If you prefer simplicity, a soft, white garment, radiant and serene, it is yours. No judgment, no comparison, no trends. In paradise, fashion is not dictated by pride or popularity, but by contentment and joy. And whatever you wear, it brings a beauty that is eternal. The mirror does not reflect ego, it reflects gratitude. The believer is also adorned with jewelry, not for arrogance, not for wealth, but as a crown of honor from the most generous. Bracelets made of gold and silver wrap, gently around the wrists, light as air, humming with the remembrance of good deeds. Anklets that chime softly with every step echo the sound of diker. Rings that bear inscriptions of light, perhaps your name, or a verse once recited in solitude, shine like stars. Necklaces of light and pearls hang gently upon the chest, and each piece tells a story, not the story of fashion, but the story of faith. That charity you gave in secret, it sparkles now upon your ring. That night you prayed through your tears, it is engraved in the gem upon your necklace. That fast you bore when no one knew, it now hangs like a diadem upon your brow. Even your shoes, if shoes are desired, are soft as clouds, made of light, shaped by comfort, never dusty, never worn. But many choose to walk barefoot, because even the ground of Jannah kisses thee feet. And then comes the crown. Yes, the believer in paradise wears a crown, not of monarchy, but of majesty, a symbol that this soul was honored by Allah, preserved in faith, granted as pleasure. It is not heavy, it is not burdensome. It rests like a breeze upon the head, glowing like the full moon, adorned with diamonds more, radiant than stars. The crown says not, look at me, but Allah was pleased with me, and all who see it feel no envy. There is no jealousy in paradise, only admiration, only joy for one another. One believer sees another in their adorned beauty and feels pure happiness that their brother or sister has been honored. The hearts in Jannah are cleansed of comparison. No one looks with resentment, only with love. Even fragrances are part of the adornment. Your body emits the scent of paradise, of musk and amber, of the sweetest breeze and the most sacred perfume. You do not need to apply it, it flows from you. Your skin is smooth and luminous, shining with a glow that is not oily or artificial, but divine. There are no blemishes, no scars, no tired lines. You are as Allah wished you to be, in the prime of your eternal life. The hair upon your head is perfect, full, soft, shining. If you had hair before, it is now better than ever. If you lost it in the world, it is returned in perfection. There is no baldness in paradise unless desired. Some may wish for white hair and dignity, others for the thick black hair of youth, others for styles unimaginable. All are granted, not for vanity, but for joy. And your smile, it shines. It is full. There are no chipped teeth, no cavities, no discomfort. Each time you smile, light escapes your lips. Each time you laugh, the sound is soft, sincere, echoing like birdsong across the courtyards of your palace. You never need to hide it again. Never again will you smile while hiding sorrow. Here, all sorrow has been erased. Here, every smile is true. Your eyes are wide and shining. No puffiness, no redness, no strain. They reflect joy like polished emeralds. Your gaze is pure, loving, soft. Because in Jana, even the way you look at others is a gift. And the way others look at you is without judgment, without harm. It is all love. You walk through paradise clothed in your story. Each robe a verse, each gem a chapter, each crown a conclusion of your patience, sacrifice, and hope. And it changes as you wish. If today you want to wear silver robes lined with blue gems, it appears. If tomorrow you wish for a robe made of glowing mist that floats around your body like divine light, it becomes yours. You are never limited. Nothing grows old. Nothing becomes dull. Your garments will never fade, never wrinkle, never tear. They will always be as new, as glorious, as sacred as the first time you wore them. There is no need for laundry, no piles of clothes, no clutter. Even order is a gift from Allah. And if ever you wonder, why am I given so much? The answer comes not in words, but in the overwhelming realization that this is the reward of love. Allah does not merely admit his beloved servants into Jannah. He adorns them. He beautifies them. He honors them. He tells all of creation, "These are my faithful ones." These are the souls who bore life with patience. These are the hearts who trusted me. Let the whole of paradise honor them. And so the trees bend as you pass. The breeze carries your name in praise. The angels smile and greet you with salam. You are no longer unknown. You are forever honored. And as you walk along the golden pathways, robes flowing behind you like a whisper of divine grace, you feel lighter than air. The ornaments do not weigh you down. The crowns do not burden your brow. The jewelry does not entangle you. Everything in paradise is made for ease, for joy, for beauty. You do not trip. You do not sweat. You do not worry about how you look. You simply glow, and others, seeing your beauty, smile in return, because the beauty of your soul is now visible in every layer of your being. This is how Allah honors his servants, not with fleeting applause, not with shallow riches, but with eternal grace, manifested in beauty, in light, in dignity. You are clothed now not only in silk and gold, but in forgiveness, in peace, in acceptance. Every thread whispers, you are loved. Every gem shines, you are honored. Every fragrance sings, you are home. The believer, clothed in garments of divine light and adorned with jewelry crafted by mercy itself, continues to walk through the golden gardens of eternity. Each step is weightless, each breath a melody, and though the soul is already overflowing with joy, an anticipation rises from within, gentle, growing, glowing. It is not hunger, it is not longing, it is the deepest, sweetest kind of yearning, to be reunited with those one loved, those whose names the believer carried like hidden prayers whispered in sujud, held tightly during nights of loneliness, spoken with hope through the pain of separation. Paradise is not just about beauty, It is not only about gardens and garments. It is about people, souls once scattered across time, now gathered in eternal nearness, reunited beneath the canopy of Allah's boundless love. The believer walks into a courtyard unlike any other. It is wide and open, surrounded by flowing rivers and trees of radiant gold. From every direction, voices rise, not noisy, not chaotic, but joyful. Laughter dances upon the breeze. Words of greeting echo like poetry. And then, suddenly, the believer stops. Their heart recognizes a voice, familiar, beloved, unforgettable. The sound is not imagined. It is real. You made it, the voice cries, and from the distance, someone runs toward. The believer with arms open and eyes full of tears, not tears of sorrow, but of joy too large to be contained. It is a mother, a father, a child, a spouse, a friend, a neighbor, a mentor, a soul that walked beside yours on earth, now racing to embrace you in the land where no goodbyes exist. The embrace is long and full. It holds no shame, no awkwardness. It is perfect reunion. All the years of pain, waiting, prayers, doubts, they melt away in that single moment of divine fulfillment. There is no question of how long you were apart. That pain is gone. What remains is the eternity now stretching before you, where you will never again be separated. There is no more death, no more funerals, no more graves. Here, love lasts forever. Here, you never lose those you love. And the reunions continue. One by one, familiar faces appear, smiling, glowing, more beautiful than ever. The child lost in this world now runs into your arms, laughing with the joy they never got to finish in the world. They were not lost. They were waiting. The parent whose voice echoed in your memory now holds your face and says, Allah answered your dua. The friend who used to pray beside you now stands shoulder to shoulder again. This time, not in a mosque, but in the halls of Jannah, laughing as they say, remember when we used to dream of this moment? The sibling you fought with, but always loved. The teacher who taught you a verse that changed your heart. The one you forgave. The one who forgave you. All are here not because of coincidence, but because of Allah's mercy. You sit together now beneath a tree whose shade stretches for miles. You talk for hours, but there is no time. You remind each other of the world you left, but not in sadness. The memories now bring only gratitude. You say, remember when we used to struggle with patience? Remember those nights we prayed even when tired? Remember when we fasted, not knowing if it would be accepted? Remember when we buried loved ones and cried, trusting Allah would reunite us? And now look, every tear is accounted for. Every prayer was heard. Every separation was only temporary. Here in Jannah, Allah restores what the world tried to steal. Some believers will be reunited with loved ones who were not as righteous, but through their dua and Allah's mercy, they are elevated. The mother who prayed day and night for her son, and in paradise sees him walking beside her, shining. The husband who gave up sleep to make dua for his wife, now reunited with her under the trees of bliss. The child who made duet for their parents, now welcomed by them into their eternal home. Duet in the world becomes a bridge in the next. Mercy expands beyond logic, beyond law. In Jannah, the heart is not wounded by absence. Allah knows what the soul needs to be whole, and He gives without limit. And there are new faces too, righteous strangers you never met in the world, but whose hearts are woven with yours. People who lived centuries before you, now walking with you in brotherhood and sisterhood. Perhaps you meet Maryam A.S., quiet and noble, her presence calming as water. Perhaps you speak with Yusuf A.S., whose face outshines the moon, who says, "You were patient. I know how hard that was." Perhaps you meet a companion of the Prophet who smiles and asks, "Did you love him as we did?" And you nod, eyes shining, saying, "More than life itself." And then, perhaps, Muhammad himself enters. The crowd grows quiet, but not in fear. It is reverence. It is awe. It is love so deep, it silences even the most joyful. He walks with light, his face radiant, more beautiful than any description ever given. He smiles at you. Yes, at you. And he says, "I missed you, my brother, my sister. You believed in me, though you never saw me." And he embraces you, not briefly, but fully. You feel the warmth of his compassion. You smell the fragrance of his nearness. And then he takes your hand and walks with you. No guards, no titles, just love. Just the seal of prophethood beside you in a garden planted by faith. You are not a fan. You are family. And then Allah gives the believers the greatest joy of all, gathering their families together in palaces side by side, in gardens that connect like rivers of joy. You are not placed apart. You are not divided by deeds. In Jannah, Allah says, "Enter you and your spouses in happiness." The ones who prayed together in the world now rest together in the hereafter. The ones who walked together through hardship now walk beneath the trees of paradise. There is no more grief, no more loneliness. Even those who never married or who lost children or who lived in solitude, here they are never alone. Allah replaces every emptiness with fullness, every ache with peace. No one is forgotten. No one is left out. The Ummah is whole. And in these gatherings, you celebrate not once, but forever. You host banquets for your loved ones. You invite them to your palace. They invite you to theirs. You eat together under the stars that do not fade. You sip from golden goblets and remember old stories. You laugh like children, free, pure, forever young. There are no awkward pauses, no painful topics. Only warmth, only light. And when you rise from the feast, you do so without tiredness. You hug, and it feels as soft and joyful as the first hug. You say goodbye only to say hello again. Sometimes you gather with your loved ones and angels descend among you. They bring news, not of obligation, but of joy. There is a gathering near the throne. They say, for those who loved one another for Allah's sake. And so you go, your friends, your family walking with you, hand in hand, heart to heart. You remember, The times you cried together, now you cry again, but this time from joy so profound, it flows as light. And in that gathering, beneath the throne of Allah, you see the full meaning of his words. My love is guaranteed for those who love one another for my sake. You are among them. You are honored. You are not just rewarded. You are celebrated. Every reunion in paradise is like a waterfall of joy. Every embrace is a wave of peace. You never grow tired of seeing your loved ones. There is no boredom, no repetition. Each moment is fresh. Each gathering a new flower in the garden of the soul. And if you ever feel the desire to be alone, you are alone, but never lonely. Solitude in Jannah is peaceful, not painful. And when you wish to return to your loved ones, they are there, smiling, waiting, welcoming you home again. Here, love is not tested. It is perfected. It is not wounded. It is healed. It does not fade with age. It grows brighter. It does not weaken in silence. It strengthens in presence. You remember how hard it was to hold onto love in the world. How sometimes your own heart betrayed you. How distance, time, and misunderstanding tried to tear it away. But now all of that is gone. Love is eternal, and it is safe. You will never lose it again. This is the Jannah of reunion, not just with people, but with everything you ever loved for Allah's sake. The Quran returns to you, not as a book, but as a companion, walking beside you, praising your voice. The Prophet returns to you, not as a story, but as a friend. The memories of your worship return, not as weight, but as perfume. The faith you clung to returns, not as hope, but as reward. And most importantly, you return to Allah, not as a sinner begging forgiveness, but as a servant welcomed home. There comes a moment in Jannah when the laughter fades into soft silence, when even the rivers slow their murmur, and the songs of birds quiet themselves, not from fear but from awe. A divine stillness descends upon the gardens, the palaces, the gatherings of the faithful. It is not night, for in paradise there is no darkness. Yet a shade unlike any other begins to cover the land. Not the shade of clouds, but the presence of something greater, something holy. The angels move gently there, wings folded in reverence, and from every corner of Jannah a call spreads, a call not spoken aloud, yet heard in every heart. The believers feel it like a whisper, written into their very soul, a voice not made of sound, but of light, of certainty, of love. Your Lord calls you, come. And so they rise, every man, woman, child, martyr, prophet, servant. They rise not in panic, not in hurry, but with trembling hearts. The ones who were closest to Allah in the world move swiftly, led by joy. Those who struggled, who cried alone in the night, who wondered if their prayers were ever heard, they are now lifted, by angels carried gently. Not a single soul is left behind. The ones who feared they were unworthy now feel arms of mercy wrap around them, lifting them, saying, He was always near. No one is denied this moment. Every believer is summoned. The place they are led to cannot be described in earthly terms. It is a field, a garden, a horizon that stretches into eternity, lit not by sun or moon, but by the radiance of what is to come. They sit upon cushions of light, upon carpets of emerald and pearl, surrounded by flowers that shine, air that sings. The sky above them is unlike any sky, because it is not above, it is around them, within them. They feel their hearts swell, their chests open wider, their souls lighten. No one speaks, but all are speaking in their silence. Will we see him? Then, like the lifting of a veil that had covered all existence, the entire realm is bathed in a light so pure, so overwhelming, that creation itself trembles in joy. It is not the light of fire, nor of star, nor of lamp. It is not even the light of paradise. It is beyond all light. It is the light of Allah, Al-Nur, the one who lit the sun and the stars, who gave brilliance to every prophet's face, who filled the Quran with radiance. Now, that light reveals itself, not fully, for no created being could bear his full majesty, but enough to see, enough to know. And then it happens. The believers, those who prayed with dry mouths in Ramadan, who held back tears in sujud, who called on Allah in the night when all doors were shut, see their Lord. There is no face more beautiful, no presence more majestic, no moment more complete. Every reward in Jannah melts into insignificance. The rivers, the palaces, the fruits, the gold, all fade into the background. All the joys that came before now fall silent in comparison. For this is the greatest reward. This is Ridwanullah, the eternal pleasure of Allah, the satisfaction that never ends. The face of your Creator, the one who saw you before your mother held you, the one who heard you when no one else understood, the one who forgave you when you couldn't forgive yourself. And when you see him, you do not see with eyes only. You see with your soul, with every cell of your being. You do not blink, for no part of you wishes to miss a single instant. The sight is not painful. It is overwhelming peace. It is like returning to the source, like a lost child recognizing their parent's face after 1,000 years of wandering. But this is more than that. This is the soul recognizing its origin. And He, Allah, smiles at you. Yes, He smiles. He says, not with words, but with divine speech that fills your heart like spring water. Peace be upon you, my servant. You were patient. You were faithful. You hoped in me. You feared me. I am pleased with you. And you want to speak. You want to say, oh Allah, I love you. But your tongue cannot form words. Instead, your entire being says it. Your light, your breath, your smile. And Allah knows. Others sit beside you. Your parents, your spouse, your children, your companions. All see Him. All weep. Yet their tears are made of light. No sorrow, only joy. And you look at them, and they look at you, and all of you know we made it. This is the promise. This is the reason we lived. This is the reason we sacrificed. This is the day when your Lord says, shall I not give you more? And they say, what more could there be, O our Lord? And He says, I bestow upon you my eternal pleasure. I will never be angry with you again. Those words fall like rain upon the soul, a rain that washes away every last speck of fear, every last echo of doubt. Never again, never will you worry about displeasing him. Never will you fear being left. Never will you lose his favor. You are safe. You are loved. You are his. And in that presence, time is meaningless. You gaze as long as you wish. You are not rushed. You do not blink. You do not tire. Some may look for a moment. Some may gaze forever, and each will be satisfied. For Allah gives according to their closeness, their yearning, their deeds, and above all, his mercy. Then, just as gently as it came, the vision begins to lift, not with sadness, but with serenity. For you now carry it within you. Your soul has seen its source. You are marked with light. You are full. You are changed forever. As the believers rise to return to their gardens, their faces shine with a brightness never known before. They are more radiant than ever, because now they carry the vision of their Lord. And the angels, watching from afar, lower their heads in awe, for they have never seen him, not even the greatest of them. This gift, this honor, is only for them, believers, the ones who said La ilaha illallah and lived by it, the ones who believed in the unseen, and now see what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, what no heart can fully grasp. Some believers will see him every Friday in paradise, gathered in assembly near the throne. They will prepare like they once prepared for Jumu'ah, bathing, dressing, in their best, perfuming themselves, not for prayer, but for presence. And the angels will guide them, line by line, seat by seat, until every believer is gathered. And then the throne will appear above them, and Allah will reveal himself again. Each week they will see him. Each time it will feel like the first. Others will be granted special moments, private audiences, intimate visions, when they walk alone by the rivers or recline in their gardens. Allah may speak to them, ask them what they desire, and they will say, I desire only you. And he will smile again. In these moments, all barriers are removed. No veils remain. There is no intercessor between you and your Lord. No screen, no distance, only closeness, only nearness, only the fulfillment of the verse. Indeed, the righteous will be in pleasure on adorned couches, observing. Surah Al-Mutaffifin 83:22-23. And you, O servant of Allah, are among them. This is the day the angels longed for, the day the prophets dreamed of, the day the martyrs bled for, the day the righteous lived for, and now it is yours. And as you walk back to your palace, back to your family, your companions ask, what was it like? But no words come, only light, only a smile, and they understand. And whenever you wish to see him again, you make dua, not for something new, but simply to say, Ya Allah, let me look upon you again. And in paradise, every dua is answered, every wish is granted, every longing is fulfilled.